My apologies to Andy Holloway of the Fantasy Footballers, a highly popular podcast, for being a little bit late to the conversation. But Andy Holloway joining us back here on the Rich Eisen Show. Good to see you, Andy. How are you? Sitting there on your set, looking very, very nice. What's going on, sir?
Man?
We're doing well, man. Thanks for having me, Rich. We're in the throngs of it, man. Everybody's undefeated right now in fantasy.
Okay, very good. That's very good. Appreciate it. I'm just glad you said throngs and not thong. That would have been an interesting way of doing it. Listen, Andy, before we get into the conversation about picks and things like that, who won the league last year in which this show was participating? Who? Because I know you have many of those leagues. Who won that league?
I'm racking my brain on that. I think you won the league, Rich.
That's
Chris
what you want to hear as well. Let's give Chris as a co-general manager. As well, T.J. Jefferson as well as that.
I helped with the draft, and that was it.
But you were there in spirit.
Yeah, for sure.
Mike Del Tufo had absolutely nothing to do with it.
Nothing.
But Andy, when's the draft for this year? When's that?
I think we're targeting maybe the week of the 26th.
Okay.
I think you can come back and try to defend it.
You're back. Are we? So
you've been invited back to. I mean, we don't boot the winner, man.
No, okay. I just want to make sure because you're aware that's next week, and we just want to make sure that it's happening. And
it's happening, Rich. Okay. It's happening.
So we
don't want you with too much prep time.
Give us a lead of 6 days, and
we'll do that.
You better have your head on a fantasy swivel. So we're good. This is good.
We're good.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. Don't be so thrilled about it.
We just started exchanging emails with Damon like an hour ago.
Oh, is that right?
So we're good. We're good.
So why don't you tell me that?
Well, we're in the middle of the show.
I understand that, but now here I am kind of grilling Andy.
Yeah, but that makes for good content.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we still have some championship rings that we need to send you. I think we got some stuff for you.
No, is there something? Is there something?
Yeah, we got some stuff for you.
Okay.
Whatever you figured out.
Does it say our margin of victory? Because we really dominated.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Like the
I'm not sure
it
we
says all the scores.
Okay, it's all good.
You guys did well. It was a good performance.
That's all we're looking for in return.
That's right. No, it was great.
Okay.
It was great.
A laurel and a hearty handshake. Use a Blazing Saddles phrase. All right, Andy Holloway, let's get into this. Is the Ultimate Draft Kit 2025 available at thefantasyfootballers.com, the highly popular podcast as well. The first overall selection in a fantasy draft should be who? Who is it?
I think it's Jamar Chase.
I
think Jamar Chase feels nice and safe this year. Yeah.
Okay. He's the safest pick in fantasy football, Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I mean, last year I think the pendulum swings in fantasy all the time. So it's like, the running backs perform. Everybody wants to run to the running backs, and then when they let you down, they run to the wide receivers. But, I mean, Chase is part of that perfect storm in Cincinnati. Great quarterback, no defense. I mean, that's fantasy gold. So Chase feels safe. Now, you haven't had a number one fantasy finish at wide receiver repeat since, I think, Antonio Brown back in 2015, but we play on probability, and it seems like Chase is the highest probability to do it.
The most safe running back to choose.
Yeah, I mean, probably Bijan in Atlanta or Saquon. I mean, both of those guys. Saquon's coming off so many carries, so it's like sometimes when you're an older running back, it worries you a little bit, but it's hard to look at that offense and that team and not think he's going to come close to repeating. So I think both of those guys are in the conversation for, if you don't go Chase, you can go either of those number one, and I think it's fine.
So, again, this conversation on the running backs, it's Saquon had too much volume last year to be safe. And Bijan, I guess, the pushback there is what does the offense look like with Penix, right? Like, what are we
That's it.
We're just basing it on, those awesome phantom cam slow-mo runs that we see from him? Is that what I'm being honest. I'm not being facetious here. Andy.
No, it's great. Like Saquon, what was awesome about him last year was not just the volume, but you had all the big plays, like the 60-plus yard touchdowns. Like that wasn't really Bijan's like recipe for success. It was just chunk after chunk after chunk. Now, they dealt with worse quarterback play than people expected. Kirk Cousins, that went sideways, and he still performed for fantasy. So I think some people that want to lean to the younger side and maybe try to be risk averse, worrying about, like, Saquon had all the carries, but then he had the playoff run where he piled up even more. So look, we all try to like split hairs to find something wrong at the top with these guys. There's not really anything wrong with either of them, but you are betting on the mystery that is Michael Penix Jr. And you can be optimistic, but the I think Vegas line for them is like 8.5 wins, somewhere around there. So you want a winning team for a running back to have success. That's normally a part of the equation. So I don't have a problem with either one, but Bijan's got the age advantage.
Speaking of Vegas, where do you put Ashton Jeanty?
Boy, Jeanty looks like he'll have all the volume, but you're in a really tough division. He's going like back of the first round in fantasy this year. So it's the whole like fantasy philosophy of it might be a boat, right? Like we don't know how high the ceiling could be for Ashton Jeanty. So sometimes people take the more exciting young player just for the upside potential. I love what they're doing on offense. We love Brock Bowers. I love that they have a quarterback now. But it is a tough division. So I think back of the first makes sense. And I think if you want to swing for upside versus maybe more safe, then he's a great option. And there's a lot of excitement.
I mean, I'm wondering how Brock Bowers' season last year, I guess splashes onto Colston Loveland and Tyler Warren this year, right? Like I'm wondering how you rate something like that right now, Andy Holloway.
It's been 2 straight years with a rookie tight end finishing at number 1 in fantasy. Laporta did it 2 years ago, and it really wasn't something that ever happened. And then we get, the big performance by Bowers, and like Tyler Warren's one of my favorite picks in fantasy this year.
No kidding.
He's a my guy for me. The announcement this morning with Daniel Jones, I feel better about that from a stability standpoint, accuracy standpoint, getting him the football. Not that, either guy was going to make you, feel super confident, but Bowers had nobody last year in Las Vegas at quarterback to trust, and he still put up record-setting numbers. So we seem to discount the rookies because we don't know what's going to happen, especially at tight end. Bowers was like an 8th or 9th round pick last year, and that's where Warren's going again. So I think if you're not drafting one of those top tight ends, then you can just keep waiting, and I'd take a shot on Warren for sure.
I've got Andy Holloway here on the Rich Eisen Show. Last year, if I'm not mistaken, it could have been Jason Moore or Mike Wright who said you can win a fantasy league with Jaden Daniels. We drafted him. We won the fantasy league with Jaden Daniels. I don't know if that's why neither of them are appearing on this segment today.
They didn't make the playoffs in our league, so I told them they can't come.
By the way, outstanding method of hunting and pecking for FaceTime, Andy. I appreciate. I totally appreciate that. But give me somebody who you can win a fantasy league with at quarterback, because that's the key: is when to choose one, who you're choosing. Because I know experts like yourself are probably like high-fiving inside when somebody uses a 2nd or a 3rd round pick, even on somebody as great as Josh Allen or Lamar, right? Or Jaden Daniels, I imagine, is going to be in that mix this year.
Yeah, he is.
What is your philosophy on when to draft one and who this year?
Yeah, no, I think this year in particular, like, there's probably 5 core top-end names. It's Lamar, it's Allen, it's Daniels, it's Hurts. And then depending on who you talk to, it's probably Joe Burrow. Those other guys give you fantasy value with their legs, and that's huge, picking up the rushing yardage and touchdowns on the ground.
Yep.
But Burrow has just been a machine. Everything looks set up for him. So those 5 guys, I would probably, if I want one of them, I'm taking kind of the last of that group as far back as they go, let the other 4 go off the board. Otherwise, if I'm waiting late, like I think there's tons of sleeper quarterback options this year. I think Jordan Love can bounce back in Green Bay. Like he was a top 5 fantasy quarterback, dealt with injuries last year, kind of off everybody's board. I think he could do a lot. I think Drake May in New England, if they surprise, like he's got rushing upside that, he showed at the back half of the year, but they were such a bad team. Sometimes people don't pay attention to that. Drake May is another guy, Bo Nix in Denver. If he can take the next step, I think there are some later values. And what I wouldn't do is just kind of spend a middle round pick If I'm out of those top 5, I wait a little bit longer and grab one of those guys with upside. Even Dak with CD and Pickens.
So what about Stroud? You win a championship with Stroud here. How about that? You're already giving me that look.
It's tough.
Purdy.
Tough.
Are we winning a championship with Purdy here? Baker, Goff.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Goff.
A bunch at you.
No, Goff, to his credit, like he's been very consistent, but he's a back half QB1 the last 3 years. All the 4 names that you mentioned, what they have in common is that it's gonna be dependent on pocket passing success. So that really comes down to like, can they hit huge touchdown numbers? Like Baker last year, great for fantasy, up at that 40+ mark, really hard to repeat that. And so those pocket passers you see swing back and forth between relevance and irrelevance. If the touchdowns dip, you don't get that like baseline on the ground. So I think you can win with those guys. Stroud's the same thing. I think he had about 200 rushing yards last year. You got to get up over 35 touchdowns to really be a difference maker if you're a pocket passer. That's where Burrow, you kind of are confident he'll be 35+, maybe 40+. Again, that's the question. They all have the potential to do it. It's just you don't want to lock in and like auto start those guys if it's not their year. Be willing to kind of pivot and change and pick up somebody off the waiver wire.
Couple more to throw at you, Andy Holloway. Christian McCaffrey. Where are you putting him?
Oh, yeah, he's the most hotly debated player on our show almost every day, it seems like, because the fantasy hitman Mike, he's got him at 101, like the number 1 pick.
Oh.
And like you can see the argument for that. The last 5 years for McCaffrey, 2 of them he won you your league. And 3 of them he lost you your league.
Yeah, that's right.
So
that's called boomer bust, my friend.
And so for Mike, it's like you play to win, right? Like you're not there for 3rd place, and I get that. So if he gets the workload, like every running back in San Francisco right now behind him is injured. Like I don't know what practice field situation they got going on.
Yeah,
but they're all banged up. But you got to ask Christian McCaffrey to get through a whole season, and that is a tall task of late. But all the passing game work, the receivers that are hurt there, like if he's healthy, he probably will be the number 1 running back. It's just, do you want to go through the mental stress? So many people drafted him and now they're burnt, and it's like you don't have to do that. You could go Bijan, you could go Gibbs, you could go Saquon, and you could take the mental strain off. And of course, they could get hurt too. So this is fantasy, right? But yeah, CMC, depends how much of a taste for danger you have.
And lastly, give me the round in which I should take a flyer on Cam Ward.
Oh, see, I heard you talking about Cam Ward.
Yeah,
I'm excited for their future. It's hard for a rookie to put up numbers that matter for fantasy. We haven't seen a lot of that. I think last year was like the first year we had a rookie quarterback give double-digit touchdowns to somebody because Terry McLaurin got to double digits with Jaden Daniels. So you can get him with the last round pick if you believe. You can take that shot, see what happens to start the year. They got all those rookie wide receivers they're trying to develop in Tennessee, but I do really like what I've seen from Cam Ward, and I'm excited to see what the Titans can turn into because they've been dealing with, no more Will Levis experience in Tennessee. Let's move forward with Cam Ward.
Right. Okay. And then the guy that is a sleeper.
Yeah. I love Jameson Williams. I don't know if he quite qualifies for that.
Absolutely, of course.
Yeah. I mean, Jameson Williams in Detroit, I think he's got a huge opportunity this year. They're kind of figuring out what to do with him. He ran a higher percentage of those go routes, the post routes, than even like Jamar Chase and Jefferson. I'm a big fan of Jameson Williams breaking out this season.
Okay, and I've got a sleeper for you. Do you know who I got?
Okay.
Here's
Let's hear it.
The sleeper for you is whoever's in charge of scheduling the draft. And getting around to informing the defending champs when it is.
Yeah.
That person is dead asleep. Who is the Rip Van Winkle of the fantasy footballers operation here, Andy? Good
is it
Lord.
Is it an excuse if he's getting married this past week? Is that an excuse for Damon?
Okay. No,
okay.
it is not.
Oh,
Then delegate.
Then Damon is to blame.
I've got something for his registry. Delegate.
Yes.
Come on.
Oh, my goodness.
Rude,
we got to get him an invite in February next year.
What the hell?
He's married,
We're
Rich.
here, though. Whenever you want to get around to it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we'll let you know when it's starting. We'll let you know when the draft's starting, right?
Hey, guys, it's round 2.
Thanks for the time, Andy. Greatly appreciate it, man. Everybody check out the Fantasy Footballers podcast. You'll be one of the last if you already haven't.
Love these guys.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.